Welcome to another deep dive. We are going way back in time today, like way, way back, to check out these really cool stories and a few kind of mysterious sneak peeks into the future. We're going to be diving into the book of Daniel, which is like this time machine filled with adventures about a pretty smart young guy named Daniel and his like super brave friends all in a faraway land. So
Yeah, and like we're gonna use a bunch of sources for this one, kind of like the original story itself, the actual like official record.
right.
And we've also got these awesome maps and like breakdowns that help us understand the big picture.
Yeah.
And then I mean, so a scholar who spent a lot of time with all the like small details to kind of help us connect the dots.
Yeah.
So our job is to share the most exciting parts with you, so you can get the gist without having to read this giant ancient book yourself.
Right. So picture this, the kingdom of Judah. This is where Daniel and his friends were from. It gets taken over by this like huge, powerful empire called Babylon. It was like the biggest kid on the block just coming up to you and being like, "You're coming with me." Lots of people were taken as prisoners to Babylon, including Daniel and his three best friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And these weren't just any kids. They were from really important families. Maybe even like princes or
Oh
something.
no, wow.
Can you imagine going from living in a palace to being a captive in this strange new place?
That's a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right away they faced this like huge test. King Nebuchadnezzar, who was the ruler of Babylon, he wanted to bring these like smart, well-born young men into his royal court. And now part of fitting in was eating the food and drinking the wine from the king's own table.
Right.
But here's the catch.
Uh-oh.
For Daniel and his friends, their religion had some pretty strict rules about what they could and could not eat.
Oh.
It's kind of like having specific rules in your family. So this royal food might have gone against those rules.
Okay.
And they did not want to do anything that felt wrong to them according to their beliefs. This was about way more than just being picky eaters. This was about staying true to who they were.
Yeah, it was like being asked to choose between fitting in and doing what they knew was right.
Exactly.
So Daniel came up with this plan. He goes to this guy, Ashkenaz, who was in charge of all the young men, and asks if he and his friends could have something different, like to eat.
Right.
And they asked for some pretty simple food, like beans and vegetables,
Right.
which is what the Bible calls pulse, and just water for 10 days. It was like saying, hey, can we try this our way for a little bit and see what happens? It was basically putting their faith to the test.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for checking out the channel. My name is Sammy A. This is Sammy A Reviews. And today I'm going to be talking about a new workflow for creating faceless YouTube content. This one's more animated style. And if you've been following the channel, I kind of show you how to make these quote-unquote faceless YouTube content using AI tools. And so today I'm going to walk you through a newer workflow where this time I'm doing more animation style videos, and I'm going to break down the actual workflow that I use to create the video that you just saw. And what we're going to focus on are these AI tools here. I've done a video before about what are the costs and the cost breakdowns, and today we're going to get into that. And actually this is probably the cheapest workflow in terms of the total cost to generate a video, and we'll kind of go through some of those numbers. But okay, we'll take it from the top, and as usual, one of our favorite go-tos for creating the actual content, as far as the voice actors, the material that you're going to use, basically to write the script and everything. We use Google's NotebookLM. Let's go into that. And as you can see here, we did one on the book of Daniel. So here are my sources that I uploaded. They're just some YouTube videos. And what it'll do is I'm not gonna go into in-depth explanation of how NotebookLM works. There's plenty of videos on there, but in general, it basically can take your input files, whether they're documents, PDFs, videos, anything of that nature, and NotebookLM will basically analyze it and turn it into different formats, whether you want it to be like study guides or a briefing document or a FAQ. But in this case, we're using their audio overview, which is basically like a podcast. You can go in and kind of fine tune the prompt before you create it so that you can give it a little bit more direction. And that's what we did. For this one, since I was doing more of an animation style video, I wanted it to be more kid friendly and suited for a younger audience. So I made sure to tell NotebookLM that, hey, the audience is going to be children and young adults. So it did a good job of kind of adjusting the format complementary to a younger audience. So that's what I did. And once the audio overview is completed, we download it. And from there, we go to the second step. If we go back to this, the second step is to separate it out, the audio, into the male and female speakers. Now, the reason we do this step, I've explained it in other videos. Anytime that you have audio that you're going to dub, you have to separate out the different speakers. You can't have it all, both speakers on the same channel. Plenty of reasons why you have to do that. I've already explained that, but this tool, this is an AI tool I use, Speaker Split, where you can upload the NotebookLM audio file and it'll split it into 2 audio files, and that's what I've already done. You hit process and it'll separate the audio tracks into the male and female. So once you get the final files, we go to the next step, which I talked about it before. You can remix the audio files if you don't like the voice actors. And in this case, I'll show you what I did, because I kept the original female vocals, the original female NotebookLM avatar voice. But I changed the male because I wanted to make the male sound more younger, because the original had a more adult male and the characters I was using was a younger. So what I did is I took the original audio file that I separated using Speaker Split, and I did a voice changer on the male, adult male, to make him sound like a teenager or a young adult. So basically take the separated audio file, and then what I did is I went to 11 Labs, and you would basically just upload that male speaker, the one that we did. So I think it was, so in this case, we may have to reduce the file size, because 11 Labs won't let us do, it won't let us do the a file size over 50 megabytes. So I'd have to shrink that down, but this is where you would go, and then you would just select the voice that you want to change it to, and they give you all the different ones here. You just pick the one that you wanted to use from their list, and you can also go into the voice library and pick out different ones. And then once you save that, then you can go to the next step, which is using Kling AI and DreamFace to generate the talking head videos. Now, in my other videos, in the previous videos, we were using Hedra, and I still like Hedra. However, there is now a better alternative. In my opinion, it's way better, and it's also cheaper to generate talking head videos. Hedra recently upgraded their plans and their offers, and I may do a review on their new Character 3 platform, but let's just say I'm not a big fan of it. Basically increasing the costs to more than what I feel like it's reasonable. And so now I'm looking at different alternatives as a way to doing talking head videos without having to spend too much money on their features. And now I still like Hedra. There's nothing wrong with the quality. I think that they're equal to or better than the ones that we're using today. But in my opinion, I think that the newer platform, the Character 3 costs and everything associated with, is just too high. So what I'm going to do and what I'm recommending is to try Kling AI and DreamFace, and I'll show you how that workflow works. So basically, first thing we do is we're going to go to Kling AI, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to image to video. We're going to create a image to video, and what we're going to do is select our AI generated avatar. So now I've gone into plenty of I've done other videos on this topic about which AI image generators I use, and for this one I use Flux 1.1. You got to check out the other videos on how exactly what to prompt and how to create these avatars. So what I did was I went in and created one. All right. And then we upload it. And what we're going to do here is in the prompt, what we're going to do is we're going to tell it, you want to use a prompt like this. You're going to just describe it generally. You don't have to go into too much detail, because what we want to do here is generate what's called a driving video or a motion video. I'll explain that in a minute. So just give it a very general instruction. You don't have to go into anything deep. Kling AI does an amazing job with this. So you basically go young male sitting down looking at the camera and talking. He has a calm and relaxed demeanor. You don't have to even put that in there. And then the last part that you want to do is Pixar 3D animation in Disney in the style of Disney or Pixar. Now this is very important, because if you're wanting it to animate this and create a driving video or a moving video, and we're using animation style and not a realistic or photorealistic image, like the one here is animated style, you want to add this so that when it animates it or when it does the video, it keeps the animated theme into the video. Because what happens is, sometimes if you don't specify what style that you want it to generate a video of, then it may turn this into a realistic image, or excuse me, a realistic video with a real boy, and it'll mess up the continuity or the video that you want. And what we want is, what I'll show you here is, you're going to generate this video, make sure it's 10 seconds, and you don't have to do professional mode. I find that I've tested these two, and definitely the professional mode is just slightly better. It's not enough to where I think it would justifies the extra cost and credits. So you could leave it on standard mode, but leave it at 10 seconds. And down here, camera movement, you don't have to tell it anything. Although up here, I will say let's add static camera shot. All right, you don't have to tell it camera movement down here. And you can leave the negative prompt. So what happens is, when you're done with this and you hit generate, what you should get is something that looks like this. Now, right now there's no vocals, but what it is, it's a driving video. And that's exactly what you want. And notice how it's animating the movement, the hairstyle, the talking, the moving of the head and the arms. So that's exactly what you want. And I know right now you're like, well, that's not help. How are we going to make a video with this? So right now you got a 10-second video clip, and this is going to be used as your driver. Now what we're going to do is, what I like to do is, generally I'll generate maybe 2 to 3 of these 10-second clips using the same image. Always use the same one. Don't change the image, don't alter it. Just what I would do is just run it again and run it a few more times. And what you'll end up with is Like this one, it's another 10-second clip. Looks kind of different, but it's still doing the same thing of animating the young person talking. So now what we'll do is we're going to go to CapCut real quick before we go to DreamFace. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you. What we're going to do is create a longer clip out of that 10-second clip. We're going to extend it, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's do this real quick. Hold on. I'm just going to download this again real quick. All right. So let's open that, and I'll show you how to make a quick video clip. So this trick here is a way to take a 10-second driving video clip and turn it into a 3 or 2 minute long looping motion video. And the reason we're doing that is, since we're going to do 3-minute long segments when we create our talking head videos, we're just going to create 3-minute templates. And it'll make sense in a minute here. But right now it's 10 seconds. So how do we do that? Well, what we do is we'll take the original, copy it, and then paste it. And what happens is, if you just copy it and paste it and you have this long series, it's not going to have a clean loop. So if you look at it there, see how it jumps? All right, we don't want it to do that. We don't want any jumping. So how do we make this a clean loop? What you do is you take the first clip, right? You paste it right next to it, so it has that jump in there. But what you do is you select the second clip and you press this button here that says reverse. So what you're going to do is you click on that, reverse that, and it's going to take it a minute. And now what happens is, if you play this, there's no jump. It's seamless. You see that? So very clean, very smooth. And all you have to do now is you select these two clips and you do what's called, you create a compound clip. So now it's one long looping clip. So this is basically a loop that you can make into an infinite driving video. And what I mean by infinite is that now, since it's a loop, you can put them side by side and it'll be clean. It won't be any jumps. So if you look, clean, it goes right back to it. There's no jump. Very, very clean. And you can extend this for as long as you want. If you want a 2-minute clip, you can make it 2 minutes. If you want a 3-minute, you can make it 3 minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip this out to where we get it to about 3 minutes in length. And I'll show you why in a minute. Now, if you wanted to, just for variations and things of that nature, you can go back and create more variations so that you have a little bit more dynamic and a lot more changes. But since these talking head videos are very straightforward and we're not actually doing a lot of action animation, then you really only need a small segment to build out your loop. Because a talking head video, because the character is sitting in the same position and all he's really doing is talking and his head is moving just slightly and his arms moving slightly, we don't need to create complex animation motion sequences. It's doable, but for what we're doing, creating these talking head videos, using NotebookLM, we don't have to worry about that. So Once you have the length that you want, so ours is slightly over 3 minutes, which is fine, you're going to export this entire clip. And it'll give you a long, continuous, fluid driving video. All right, so what do we do next? Now we're going to the new app, which is DreamFace. Guys, this is an amazing app. They do basically what Hedra does, which is that these avatar videos. And I'm going to show you how to use it now. So basically what you do at this point is you go to the avatar video and you take that looping video we just created, right? We didn't save it, but let's say that I already created one, so we can use one of these. So let's say that this is the one we're using. And this is, again, there's no audio to this yet. Remember, he's just talking, right? But there's no audio connected. It's just a driving video. And what we're going to do is, over here, what do we want the avatar to say? That's where we put in our audio. And which audio are we going to use? We're going to use the one we did the voice changer on over here in 11 Labs. All right. We already did the separate. Remember, we went to speaker split. We separated the podcast from NotebookLM into the male and female speaker. And then what we're doing is, because we have to do that step anyway to dub the different voices to the animated actors in post-production. But since I wanted to change the voice of the male actor, which is, I think, speaker B, because I like the female voice actor, her voice matches the character, but the voice for speaker B was too deep and sounded too old for the character I'm using. So remember, I went to 11 Labs, did the voice changer with the artist that I wanted to change it to, the voice actor, and now I'm going to upload that audio over here. Nope, we're going back here, and that's where we're going to upload that one. So that one was this one.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna hear the silences, but when he's talking, you'll hear the actual audio.
And we're going to use a bunch of sources for this one. The original story itself, the actual official.
All right. And what happens is when you hit generate, what it's going to do is it's going to take that clip that you uploaded. And now before we get into that, the maximum clip size, as you can see here, is 180 seconds. So that's exactly 3 minutes. Now, if you upgrade to the highest plan, this can go up to 10 minutes long, guys. And if we look at their pricing, let's see something here. Right. So the awesome thing about this app, DreamFace, is that there's no limit of how many videos you can create. It's unlimited for both the Pro, which is only $4.99 a week, or the Premium for $14.99 a week. Now the only difference is the length of the audio, the length of the talking head video or the talking avatar. So basically, since I'm using 3-minute maximum talking head videos here versus the 10, because I wanted to stay on this plan, it only costs $5 a week. And guess what? That's unlimited videos, guys. So if you compare that with Hedra charges, I think $30 a month, and you can only create 1 hour, guys. Just 1 hour of videos. This is unlimited. So you can create unlimited talking head videos for $4.99 a week. So if you do the math, I don't create unlimited videos, obviously. So theoretically, your videos are going to be very, very cheap, because we're going to do the breakdown at the end. But just keep in mind that you're getting unlimited AI avatar video talking head creations for $4.99 a week. Your only limitation with the Pro plan is their 3-minute max. Now, if you want them longer, you can go up to the 10-minute max and pay the $14.99. Now with both of these, you're going to have to create that looping video that I was telling you about. You're going to have to create a 10-minute loop for this one. This one, you only need a 3-minute loop. Now the question is, well, how does it look? Well, after you generate, when you click generate, I'm going to go over here to the ones I already generated. Creations, go to creations. So these are the ones that I generated, and you can see how it comes out. It's perfectly synced up. I'll play it for you.
Welcome to another deep dive. We are going way back in time today, way back, to check out these really cool stories and a few mysterious sneak peeks into the future.
Perfect lip sync. And it's animating the looping motion video that we gave it. It's animating that, but it's also syncing the lip. Now, a lot of people ask me too, well, why don't you use the lip sync feature here, Sam, instead of having to go use DreamFace? Well, if you do the lip sync feature here, how long is that going to be? 10 seconds long. So do you want to have 10-second long clips that you stitch together in post-production to make a 15-minute video? Or would you rather have 3-minute long clips that you stitch together to make a 15-minute long video? See what I'm saying, guys? Now, obviously, yes, you can use Kling AI, and you can do the shorter 10-second clips and download each video that's fully lip synced. But keep in mind that you're using credits too. And I think when you do a lip sync, it's going to charge you out of your credits. So this is not, this doesn't even make sense financially. So again, the reason, and keep in mind, like I said, I'm only generating a 10-second or maybe 3 10-second clips, which is only 120 credits. If I was to generate 200 clips, because each one is 10 seconds long and all of them are lip synced, I would have burned through all my points. I would spend hundreds of dollars, and I already showed you. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on Kling AI. You just use it to generate your driving videos, and I showed you. You don't even have to generate a 3-minute one. You just generate 3 10-second ones, and I showed you how to do that in CapCut, right? So the reason you have to juggle different AI tools is to use each one for its strength and most cost effectively each AI tool. There's an art and a science to that, right? You don't, for example, NotebookLM, its strength is generating content. It generates podcasts, audio overviews. And then you would use another app to separate the audio. And then you use another app to create the motion video. And then use another app to stitch them together. Use another app to do the voice match. Now, the reason we have to use all these different apps is because they all do different things of the different production. And some do it better than others. Some do it cheaper than others. And obviously, you want to use the most cheapest, but also the best tools for each job. And that's what I believe I've done with this workflow. Because people always ask me, well, why did you use NotebookLM? Because it's good, high quality, and it's cheap. That brings the cost down. Why do you use Speaker Split IO to separate the audio? Well, because it cuts down my time, my manual labor. You can do this for free. You can go in and manually edit your audio and separate out the male and female, but that takes 1 to 2 hours per 15-minute clip. I'd rather just spend a few credits and have it done AI really quick. So that saves me time. Well, why do you use Midjourney and Flux? Those are the two best image generators. Now, they're actually pretty cheap. You don't need to use Midjourney. I don't use Midjourney anymore. I use Flux. Flux 1.1, I use Replicate because you don't have to pay any membership. Each one of these images I generate is like fractions of a penny, or I think it's 2 or 3 cents per image. So it doesn't cost a lot of money. Why do you use 11 Labs? I told you that's optional. The reason I use 11 Labs is because the NotebookLM audio voice actors, they're saturated, right? if you have unique characters that you're doing for faceless YouTube video and content, the voice actors that NotebookLM generates are always the same, right? So if you want to change the voice, use different ones. Now I've done a video, I've done a previous video on Play.ai using Playnote to make to remix the audio. This time I'm using 11 Labs voice changers. As I said before, when you're using 11 Labs voice changing, just make sure that you may have to rerun it a few times because you might get some artifacts that you don't like. Or instead of rerunning it and to save credit, you would just clean up the audio file in any audio generator, or excuse me, audio workstation. And when I mean clean up, there'll be some weird noises that it makes sometimes, or things that you want to clean up. Because for some reason, when you do the voice changer, it's not a clean voice change, if you know what I mean. It's not like taking the script and generating text to audio. What it's doing is it's basically audio to audio. And anytime 11 Labs does that, the audio to audio conversion is not 100%. So that's just a warning. And if you guys get hung up on any of these steps, just drop me a comment and I'll help you out with it. So we talked about Kling AI, DreamFace. And then the last step is just basically you're going to go, I'm going to go back to my main file. In CapCut. And you basically will bring in your videos that you generated on DreamFace. These are all your talking head videos that you've been generating, right? So you go here to the avatar video. You upload your driving video here, you upload your audio, and then you generate it. Now, since we're doing them in 3-minute long sections, you're going to take your main audio file, which is 15 minutes long, you separate it out, male, female, and then you do 3-minute segments of each clip. It's not hard. I've already covered that in other videos. It just works out to where a 15-minute video is about 3 to 4 3-minute clips per character, give or take. And then you would just drag them in. And since we're not doing the full video, I just did a preview. I'm literally only have one clip of each avatar talking head, because that's the full video is 15 minutes long. I trimmed it to be 3 minutes. But that's where you bring it in, and then you bring in your different elements, your title, your graphics, and different things, your color grading. And that's how you just put together your video, guys. So that's the new workflow. Now let's break down the cost, right? Let's go back to NotebookLM, and we're going to break down the cost. All right, so to generate the audio overview, NotebookLM, how much does that cost? Answer: 0, free. Gotta love that, right? Now, obviously, Google has billions and billions of dollars. It costs them a lot of money to make it free, but they're using it to beat out their competition. So it definitely doesn't cost Google. It's not free for Google, but it's free for us for now. So for now, that's 0. So to create that video that I did, that 3-minute clip, how much did I use for speaker split? Like I said, you only pay per credits, and I think I only use 2 credits. So it comes out to be less than, I think $1. I think it's like $1.20. Now, you obviously with speaker split, you don't pay per every time you use it. You just prepay credits, and I think the minimum credit bundle is 10, and that's $8 for 10 credits. So literally it's about $1.20, right? So for Flux, I generated maybe 5 or 10 images. I spend maybe 3 cents, 5 cents for each one. So this literally costs probably 30 cents. So keep in mind, remember some of those comments that people are like, oh, you use so many AI tools. Isn't it expensive? Isn't it going to break the bank? Guys, If $0, $1.20 and 30 cents is breaking your bank, don't do videos. You have bigger problems to fry. All right, next step, 11 Labs. Voice changer. That's optional. So you can skip this step, right? If you want to use the original audio, which you can go ahead and do that, that'll be free. So that's technically free. All right. I just did it because I was doing younger characters. The male character, I wanted to sound like a teenager. So I changed the voice. And for that, like I said, for changing the voice, 11 Labs, I think it used 2,000 credits. So, and I have a ton of credits remaining. So let's just say, and I'm only paying $9 a month. So this is probably also going to be maybe $1. No, less than $1, because it's okay. Let's just put less than $1. I don't know exactly how much less, but it's less than $1 since I used 11 Labs. Kling AI and DreamFace, like I said, Kling AI, I signed up for their $8.80 per month, and you get about 660 credits. Now, for me to do the clips that I did there, remember, you only need 3 clips to make your entire podcast. So each one was around, 40, so 120 credits. So to make, I only needed that one clip, but so I really only used 40 credits for this demo. So that's, again, less than $1. Not gonna do the math here, guys. It's because it's not a lot of money. It's literally under $1, so I'm not gonna do the math. Because like I said, if you really wanted to do the math, you would just go, how many 660 credits divided by $8.80 is 75 credits per $1, right? So because we're using 40 credits, you almost get, it's closer to 50 cents, really. It's not, it's definitely under $1, but if you wanted to be, for you math nerds out there, 50 cents. All right. And then DreamFace, their plan, I told you the one that I'm on is, we're going to switch that to weekly. The one I'm on is the $4.99 a week. And that one is just unlimited. So it's just, we're just going to do $4.99 a week. So the per video cost or it doesn't matter because it's infinite. You get unlimited talking heads videos at 3 minutes max length. All right. So basically, what does it cost? Your final cost is $1.50, $2.50, $3 per video. Costs you $3 per video, and then a $4.99 a week membership to DreamFace, because that's the only monthly one. This is the only monthly membership that I have. Kling AI is monthly, but it's basically credits, and you don't need it every month. You can cancel your membership after you use the 660 credits, which is what I do. I don't use it every month because I don't have to use that many credits. Sometimes I can use 660 credits. It'll last me for 3 months or 4 months. So I don't renew it every single month, if that makes sense, right? This is the only one that I do renew. And then obviously 11 Labs, I don't renew that one that often. So that one, I might have to add that in there just because I do other stuff with it. So that's another $9 a month. All right. But it costs $3 per video, right? And this is just your overhead. That works out to be what, $12 a month, or $20 a month. So let's just summarize this and say $29 a month for DreamFace and 11 Labs. This is your overhead. So $3 per video and $20 a month overhead. That's what it costs. And this no matter how many videos you do, your overhead will always stay the same and your cost per video will always stay the same, which is amazing, guys. So that's the power of AI. You can make faceless YouTube channels that cost $3 per video. Now, again, look at the last video I did, right? Where I debated someone. I didn't debate them, but I did a video on their comment. They said, well, couldn't I just go to Fiverr or whatever, Upwork, and hire someone to do it? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Go ahead, go right ahead. And I showed you, if you hire someone on Fiverr, they're going to charge you $100 to $150 to do the same quality that we did. Because if you go back and you look at the quality of video for someone that charges $50 per video, they're garbage. It's not that good. So if you compared $3 per video using your own AI tools, versus hiring someone on Fiverr per video. So, guys, actually, and by the way, this is not for a 15-minute long video. A 15-minute long video. This is for a 5-minute long fully edited video. If you're doing a 15-minute long video like the ones that like the full one that I just did, mine is still $3. It doesn't matter how long the video is. That's what it costs to make it, right? If you were to do a 15-minute one, they're going to charge you $250 to $300 on Fiverr. And if you don't believe me, go look it up yourself. So if you wanted to do a 15-minute animated video podcast, and all you had was your script or your NotebookLM, whatever, and you gave it to someone on Fiverr, they would generate a video like the one we saw, a whole 15-minute one fully edited for about $250 to $300. Or you can use my workflow, right? And my workflow is optimized, like I said, for cost and time saving in terms of, notice how we can do most of these steps in Kling AI, but then it's going to balloon your costs. But we're only doing Kling AI to generate those motion videos. So we're not using a whole ton of credits here because we're going to use the DreamFace to animate to do the lip sync. All right. So just again to be clear, that's why we're using two different apps instead of using Kling AI to do lip sync and motion video. Because if we did both of these, then this would eat up all your 660 credits to do the lip sync. Because remember, they charge you for 10 per 10 seconds. DreamFace charges you unlimited. You get unlimited lip syncs for $4.99 a week, but you're limited to 3 minutes max per video. So I hope that makes it clear. I hope we broke it down. Again, and the last step that we're going to cover is basically, all right, monetization. Does it make sense if you were to start a channel and you were to pay someone on Fiverr to make your videos for you that were $250 to $300 per video? Yes, you could do that. A lot of people have done that, and that's how they started their channels, and they have big budgets. They might max out a credit card and say, hey, hire a studio or hire a video editor full-time and say, give me 10 videos, and they'll just max out their credit cards, right? You can do that. You can start a channel like that. Or if you do it yourself, you learn these steps, you learn this workflow, and what you can do is you can generate, you're learning skills, right? You're learning how to use AI tools, you're learning video editing skills, and you're doing it cheaper. And it doesn't take a long time, guys. Like I said, it takes me 4 hours to do a 15-minute video beginning to end. Beginning to end. That's all it takes me, 4 hours. So just think about, and it, like I said, it only costs $3 per video now, because instead of using Hedra, I'm using DreamFace and Kling AI. And that dropped it from, I think with Hedra, it was around $15 a video. That's how expensive they were, because they do the motion video. Because, see, I just want to reiterate this. Hedra does motion video and lip sync together. That's why they're so expensive, right? So with Hedra instead of Kling AI and DreamFace, it would have came out to about $15 a video. But now, since I'm using this workflow, it's $3 per video. And as you saw, the quality is just as good as Hedra, guys. So that wraps it up. Thank you for checking out the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Drop your comments and look out for some more videos. Talk to you later. Bye.